Hi there, welcome to the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney and welcome back to another video. This is a special kind of a video because today we are going to talk about fragrances that are based on the note of rose. So rose is a very commonly used note in fragrances, and there are plenty of fragrances which are based out of rose, and this can be thought as a beginner's guide for rose fragrances and entry into the rose world, because we generally think that rose fragrances are for women or feminine, but actually there are plenty of unisex and men's fragrances which are based on the rose note, and we're going to explore that. So on that note, let's get started. On the whole, I'm going to talk to you about 12 fragrances which are based on rose, and let's get started. So the first one on this particular list is called Rose Vanilla. This is Rose Vanilla. This is from the house of Ruhaniyat Perfumes, and this is a beautiful take on rose and vanilla combo. So this has got rose, this has got Indian rose, it's got Bulgarian rose, and it's also got things like myrrh, it's got sandalwood and all of that. But what really makes is, for me, I feel this is a very nice, sweet, nice kind of a rose fragrance. It's got a little bit of a take on Mancera's Rose Bunny, so I think probably a little bit of motivation or inspiration from there. But on the whole, this is a beautiful fragrance. This has got good performance. It's a very jammy, sugary, that kind of a rose, and a nice vanilla base to it. And because of that slight thing of myrrh and a little bit of honey also, and because of the combination of the rose with sandalwood and oud as well, this comes up as a really nice fragrance, and it's got good projection as well and good performance. So you will easily get about 6 hours of performance and projects very well. So this is a very nice, very sweet kind of a fragrance, and if you like a rose and vanilla kind of a combination, you should definitely try this. This is a Rose Vanilla from the house of Ruhaniyat. Okay, so the next one on this list is called Oud and Oud. Now this is again from the house of Ruhaniyat Perfumes. Now this is like, it's got oud, so it's got a little bit of that ambery note to it. It's not skanky, it's not animalic at all, it's very natural. So because of that naturalness, when you have smelled synthetic oud that we see, they're more softer, they're more well-rounded, but natural is more sharper, and it's little more it takes a little bit of liking to get used to that kind of smell. So with that oud, this rose blend is really nice. It's very dominant in terms of that fragrance scent profile. It's very masculine at the same time. Now when you think about rose vanilla on one hand, and when you think about oud and oud, the difference is this is more sweeter, this is more jammier, this has got honey. Now this is purely oud and rose, and it's there are so many fragrances that are based on rose and oud, so this is one of them which has got that strong masculinity, dense, dark kind of a fragrance, and got good performance. You will easily get about 7 hours easy on this, and on apparel it will last you at least 9 hours, and projection is also very good. So if you want a real good oud kind of a fragrance, you should definitely try this. The reason is Ruhaniyat fragrances, in all of their oud fragrances, they use real oud. They use Assam oud, which is real, and at 30% concentration, in terms of their concentration of oils. I bought 5 fragrances from them as a discovery set. The other 3 are so strong in terms of that oud that I am not actually able to try them and test them, because I feel they are not my types. So maybe one of them is a little falls under the gentleman category, but I would say of the 5, these 2 are superb. Rose Vanilla is really good from their house, especially if you want to try a sweet fragrance. Oud and Oud is more classier, more gentleman, more masculine, and gives you that more of that Arabic vibe in terms of oud and rose combo. So in case you want that, you should definitely try Oud and Oud. The next one on the list is called Adi Oud from the house of EM5, and look at the juice color and look at the consumption also. This is one of the most used fragrances in our house. My wife goes for it all the time, whenever she wants to go out. This is her go-to fragrance as such. So this has got a bit of citrus element on the top, and it's got a little bit of jasmine, yang, and at the base it's got a lot of things like leather, it's got sandalwood, it's got oud, it's got woody notes and all of that, and it kind of makes up for a very nice, sweet, jammy, sugary kind of a rose fragrance. Though it's got things like citrus and all of that, you actually don't smell a lot of the citrus element. It's blended really, really well. You don't smell that leather note also. So that way it's a very, very mass appealing fragrance. This is a fragrance that you cannot go wrong in terms of liking. you gift it to somebody and definitely they will like it. So it's that kind of a fragrance, very nice. Although this has got jasmine, yang yang, and a little bit of citrus element, I feel there is a bit of green notes vibe to it. It probably builds that up along with this particular rose and oud. The rose is really nice. It's got some Turkish rose, it's got some Bulgarian roses as well, but on the whole this is a very nice fragrance in terms of scent profile. Now in terms of performance, this is average. You get about 3 to 4 hours roughly on it, and after the first 30-40 minutes it kind of goes light. But overall as a fragrance, this is a good value for money fragrance. Typically EM5 was about 699 rupees, 599 initially. Now they're I think 799 or 899. So you might want to rethink whether they're value for money that way or not. But in terms of their profile, in terms of what the fragrance is, this is really nice. This is an inspiration based on Roja Dave's Oud. So this is Adi Oud from the house of EM5. Okay, so the next fragrance on this list is called Persian Oud from the house of Fragonaut. Now this particular fragrance is pretty unique as well. Now this has got tart elements right at the top, things like pear, it's got raspberry, and then it's got saffron, it's got Bulgarian rose, and at the bottom it's got like musk, amber, patchouli, and of course it's got sandalwood and oud as well. Now in this, the oud is like really at the background. It's very light, it's very mellow, it doesn't play out much. It's mostly a rose fragrance, but a rose fragrance that has got a dry rose, like a powdery kind of a rose, that kind of a rose. This is not a sweet fragrance, so to say. It's got a bit of the tartness, it's got a bit of that ambery scent profile. On the whole, this makes for a very nice fragrance, a fragrance that you can casually wear. You can wear this all year round, and you will not offend anybody. Excellent office wear as well. I've done a reel on this as well, and for me this is a very casual, very good fragrance. So Fragonaut probably comes at about 1100 rupees or so. So this is a good deal on that kind of a scent profile. So where you are getting everyday kind of a scent, it doesn't really dominate rose so much. It's got rose, it's got amber, it's got a little of those tart elements, and at the base it's got a little bit of musk. The oud is really at the back. So this is a very safe bet for somebody who wants to try oud fragrances or want to experience something on those lines. You can definitely try this. This is Persian Oud from the house of Fragonaut. So the next fragrance on this list is Oud Satin Mood, and I have two. So this is from the house of DK. This is the spray version. Okay, now Oud Satin Mood is by MFK, and it's probably one of the most popular rose fragrances in the recent times, because it's got that rose, it's got that Bulgarian rose, it's got Turkish rose, it's got violet, it's got a bit of amber, it's got oud, and it's of course got a vanilla flavor to it. Okay, now this is one of those beautiful fragrances where you smell it, you get roses, and as it transitions, you get that nice beautiful dry down of vanilla and that little bit of that amberiness to it, and along with that violet, it kind of really plays out well. A beautiful fragrance. And this particular one, the DK's Alt, which is Oud Satin Mood, and this is a HC35 variant. This will easily give you about 6 to 7 hours of performance and projects well for the first 1 hour or so, and 3 feet about projection at least. Good value for money fragrance. And I think somebody else also has compared this to the OG, and they said it's very close to the OG in terms of how it performs. So this is a really good take on Oud Satin Mood, and this is from the house of DK. Now this is number 6 I guess on this list, and this is the spray version. Okay, now this is really good. And at the same time, I also have another fragrance. This is from the house of Afia, and this is Oud Satinato. Okay, and I recently featured this in a reel as well. Now this is from the house of Afia, and this is again a take on Oud Satin Mood. Now in case of this, the potency level is like, you can say 2 or 3 times this. Okay, so whereas this lasts about 6-7 hours, this will easily last about 10-12 hours, and on apparel it can at least go for the next day. I even safely said that this will last you about 8 to 10 hours, but I'm telling you, much higher. Okay, in terms of the scent profile, in terms of the lasting, in terms of the quality of the fragrance used, this is much higher. Now the thing about this is, this also comes with the disclaimer, like saying do not apply too much, because you need only about 3 to 5 dabs of this, 3 to 4 to be safe, 3-4 dabs on apparel, and this will project like crazy. And this is really good in terms of for the value for money. So both are really good. If you want a spray version, you can definitely consider this from the house of DK. If you want other version, a pure beast mode kind of a projection for Oud Satin Mood, you can definitely consider Oud Satinato from the house of Afia. So both are really good fragrances. This I think is about 1500 rupees for this, I think 12 ml, and this should be about 800 rupees or so, I am guessing. I don't remember exactly, but both are really potent juices. And so that is number 6, which is Oud Satin Mood, and these are all alts. So the beauty about this particular video is I'm only featuring alts in this particular video. I'm not talking about any OG as such, and these are not compared to any OG to the best of my knowledge. So this is a good list to have in terms of to collect fragrances. I think these are 6 fragrances from this list that we have spoken about so far, which is Rose Benny, you have Oud and Oud, you have Adi Oud, and you have Persian Oud, and then of course Oud Satin Mood. And I think what we can do is I will wrap this as part 1 of the video, and then we'll do another part 2, because I think the video length will be decent in that case.